Okay. WisdomWolf back. We are back, my boy. We got 6 most disturbing things discovered in basements. I said it. Basements. We're back to the basements, man. Let's check it out. Let's see what Chillin' Scares got for us today. Hey, yo. If you haven't yet, man, subscribe to me and Chillin' Scares, bro. Most disturbing things.
This happened in Bowling Green, Kentucky, a town which, at the time, a man named Bruce Wilkerson was the mayor of.
He looked
owned a
famous.
small house in the area that he was in the middle of renovating, but he would still stay there overnight in the weeks the house was being worked on. It was the middle of the night on April 22nd, 2020, when Bruce was woken up to loud noises coming from the house's basement. As he was coming to, he also recalled smelling cigarette smoke. Now, the basement was more of a cellar, and then you had to go outside to actually get to it.
Exactly, I was like, what kind of basement style is this? Now it makes sense. Cellar, it's more cellar
Bruce
style.
went outside and walked up to its entrance. Right away, he noticed blood smeared across the basement door. Not a lot, but enough to raise concern. He opened the door and walked inside. There, he found a backpack filled with women's clothing and other various items. Bruce immediately called the Bowling Green Police Department, a department which he had previously worked for as a police officer. He asked them if there were any reports of a missing woman, but he was told that there were none, so he closed the basement door and went back upstairs. Only moments after he got back inside, the house suddenly lost power. This prompted him to again go back out to the basement. This time he noticed the basement door was open. He once again searched inside.
Wait. So you call the police and you say, hey, yo, is there any missing person? If the person was missing, why would they be in your basement? You report, hey, yo, I saw blood on my door. I saw a backpack that doesn't belong to me and a pack of cigarettes. I do not smoke. Can y'all come out here and check it out for me? You say, is there any missing persons? No. Okay, I guess no one owes this shit. You close the door and you go back inside. They're gonna fuck your ass up.
Now found a woman who looked to be in her 20s. She was disheveled and covered in dirt. The woman told Bruce one thing, that she was hiding from someone. Bruce offered to call the police, but to that she immediately left the basement and ran away. Nothing had been stolen, so he wasn't interested in her arrest.
She was
He
just
still ended
camping
up
out.
calling the police. Police searched the surrounding area, however they never found the woman. It's still unknown how long she had been staying there. Her identity is also still unknown, and with no relevant missing person cases, it's likely this won't change anytime soon. She hasn't been seen ever since.
But he should have called the cops to come over to his place the first second he saw the blood. I don't know what he was like, bruh.
It's August 2nd, 2010, just past 8 p.m. A security guard in Ontario, Canada was doing his nightly rounds on rural government-owned airport lands. Among the trees, the area was dotted with a few abandoned houses that were commonly targeted by vandals and arsonists. On this night, the security guard noticed a suspicious vehicle parked close to one of the houses. He decided to sit there and wait for the owner to return. 2 hours would pass until he finally gave up and continued doing his rounds. By the time he did a full circle and returned to the same spot, the car was gone.
Big
It
ups
wasn't
for
much,
him, though.
but the security guard still made a report about it. Fast forward over a year later to November of 2011, and a set of contractors were sent out to the same house to examine it for later demolition. However, as they were completing their inspection, they would discover something in the basement. They walked inside and saw chains bolted to the ceiling extending to the ground.
Yo, nah.
The whole room was recently painted completely white. There was a construction bench along with tools marked with red paint. There were
Are they sure it's red paint or blood or bro?
multiple jugs of water. All the windows had been double paned. The walls and ceiling were insulated with double-layered fiberglass. Unsettled by the sight, the contractors called the police. Police considered various scenarios. For example, they considered if it could have been a movie set.
Hostage
But
situation.
of course, they also
movie
considered
set.
the much darker scenarios, like if someone was planning to abduct another person and lock them inside. This prompted them to look through filed reports, and this would lead them to the report made by the security guard over a year prior. Fortunately, the security guard had written down the car's license plate in the report.
Big ups to police. I told y'all, man. Big ups that policeman, bro. He sat there for 2 hours, man, watching. That's someone that's dedicated to his job. He sat there for 2 hours watching. Nothing changed, so he circled back around and then saw that the car was gone. They probably saw him too, sitting there watching. They were watching him too, you know, waiting for him to step so they could step. And big ups to him for writing the license plate down, boy. For what? He most likely followed their plans. He most likely spotted their plans by seeing them that night, bro.
It's a starting point. Eventually, this would lead them to a man named Robert Edwin White.
That's such
After
a weird
that,
name.
not much research was required to put the rest of the case together. Robert's wife had recently ended their marriage, and she would turn to her close friend, Gwen Armstrong, for support. This made Robert grow a deep resentment towards Gwen, as he felt she was responsible. Robert's now ex-wife would end up telling police how Robert ran a renovation business, and that he always marked his tools with red paint, which was consistent with what they found in the basement. This was enough to get him arrested, and while in custody, he would admit to renovating the abandoned house's basement, although he didn't say why he did it, at least not until he was thoroughly questioned in court. There, he admitted that he wanted to abduct Gwen Armstrong, his ex-wife's friend, who, again, he felt was responsible for his divorce. Robert was
Why though? You get me? Like, why though? Why didn't he choose to abduct his wife? I'm sorry. You do not abduct anybody. But why the friend? It's your wife that divorced you. What's the friend is just
charged with breaking and entering with the intent to commit an indictable offense. Before we continue, I wanted to talk about this video's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends boasts 600 unique champions and hundreds of artifacts, which you get to. In October of 2015, a set of pictures was posted online to the popular image sharing website Imager. They were posted by a guy named Jerry, who at the time had just moved out from his parents' house to live in his own house, which he had just purchased. At first, the post looks pretty innocent. The first few pictures show parts of the basement with accompanying text. The text explained how he had just purchased the house only 2 weeks ago. The previous owner had passed away, and the house was very old, which made it a pretty cheap buy, something Jerry described as perfect for a first-time homeowner. As the post continues, Jerry explains how when he purchased the home, the basement was completely full of junk, like to the point where you couldn't even really go down there. When he purchased the house, he started cleaning it out himself.
Wait, do people actually sell houses like this full of... I mean, the person died, so it kind of makes sense.
That's when he noticed a sheet of plywood oddly fitting into the wall, something he never noticed before. He tried moving it, but it was pinned to the wall by the stairs. He pried at the top of it and could make out another room. He pulled harder at the wood and it finally gave way. Immediately, he saw a safe. He stepped inside the room and tried to open it, but it was locked.
Bro, why would you try to? I mean, like, it's a safe behind a wall. I'm pretty sure it will not be open.
He searched the rest of the small room and found multiple gun cases. They were all stacked on top of one another. Accompanying this were crates upon crates of ammunition, all different kinds too.
Oh, owner of the house was preparing for a zombie apocalypse.
As he kept looking, he just kept finding more. Also found inside was a hand grenade.
Oh my
Although
god.
it wasn't active, it didn't even have a pin to pull. As for the safe, it's still unknown what's inside. Jerry never gave an update on if he was even able to get it open or not.
Break it open. Oh my god, boy.
Velma Kellen was a retired 73-year-old living in Yelm, Washington. It was nearing the end of 2012, around the time of year where it was really starting to get cold outside. Velma would routinely use her house's furnace to keep the place warm, but she started noticing how little of an effect it had on the temperature inside. The house would remain cold. She started putting the furnace to its max setting, but still the house stayed cold. Finally, it got too cold to bear. She called out a repairman to fix the issue. He went down to her basement where the furnace was located, and there he found something strange. The furnace was working fine, but the air duct had been torn so as to redirect the heat to the basement instead of the house upstairs. The repairman also noticed empty beer bottles and other trash scattered around the basement floor. He fixed the ducts and went up to tell Velma. When she heard about it, she recalled other oddities, like how there would sometimes be the smell of cigarettes around her house at random times, or how she had always noticed her backyard gate was left open after she knew she had closed it the night before.
What?
Both of them realized that someone had clearly been living in Velma's basement. Police were called and they further investigated. They believed that someone was getting in the basement through a crawl space which was covered by a slab of stone. Velma replaced this duct the very next day.
This is why you shouldn't have openings to your house on the outside of your house. I mean, the house is supposed to be an enclosed space. Why is there a possible opening into the house from the outside, which isn't properly enclosed? Bro, this is common sense.
No arrests have been made, and nothing has happened since. How long this person was living in Velma's basement is unknown.
I don't like basements at all, bro. I don't like basements at all, bro.
In July of 2017, Joshua Seguin, a man from New York, was pulled over by police while traveling through Georgia. He didn't have a driver's license, and so he was arrested on the spot. Police searched his truck, and strangely, they found 5 undersized sharks in a large circular tank in the bed of the truck.
What?
Owning or even transporting these animals was illegal in the state without a proper license, something which Joshua didn't have. Joshua admitted that he was transporting the sharks to New York, where he intended to sell them. This prompted police to request a search warrant of Joshua's house. They were granted it days later. They immediately searched the house, and when they entered the basement, they found a 15-foot above-ground pool. Inside were more illegally kept sharks, some of them endangered. There were 10 of them in total, 7 live sandbar sharks, 2 dead leopard sharks, and a dead hammerhead shark. The animals were carefully relocated to a nearby aquarium.
Joshua had a
Investigators
business.
believe that Joshua was likely breeding the sharks to sell to private
Joshua had a whole ass business in his basement, bro.
collectors.
Bro, that house had to smell. Oh my days, that house had to have had a smell, bro. Imagine keeping, bro. I like, bro. In my house, we got a catfish. It smells bad.
He was later charged in court with illegal possession of the sharks with the intent to sell. In 2019, police discovered an underground bunker under a remote farmhouse in the Netherlands. Living inside of it, they found a 58-year-old man and a family of 6 siblings ranging from 18 to 25 years old.
Wait, living inside the bunker or living inside the house? But the bunker doesn't surprise me because look at the house. Look at the positioning of the house. It's so secluded. Homeboy, bruh.
Old when they were discovered. The 6 siblings had been living solely in the bunker for nearly a decade.
In the what? Did he kidnap? Bro, what?
This became apparent when they were questioned by police and struggled to form full sentences.
Oh nah.
It was later revealed that none of them had been to school a day in their lives.
Oh nah.
They didn't even know any other people existed in the world.
Oh my days, bro. What? What? Oh my god, there's a movie that follows this premise. Oh my days, there's a movie that follows this premise.
All 7 of them were allegedly staying in the bunker to hide and wait for the end of the world to come. It wasn't until the oldest of the 6 siblings broke out of the bunker and ran to a nearby pub that anyone was made aware. This was the first time the man had seen sunlight in nearly a decade. The man took up a conversation with the pub's owner, who after hearing his story called the police and alerted them of the situation. That's when the police raided the underground bunker and freed the rest of the siblings, who all wished to change how they lived.
How do you even change? Bro, these people didn't know anyone existed. How do you take them from that environment and just put them into the real world, surrounded by billions of people? All they've known is each other. You can't separate them at this point. Nah, you did. Whoever did that is a terrible person, bro. You convinced these people that the world was ending. They were the last people on Earth.
Put the 58-year-old man in custody.
That's terrible.
And that's when they discovered that he wasn't the siblings' father as they had originally assumed.
Like I said, he kidnapped them.
The man didn't even own the farmhouse they had been hiding in. The windows had been boarded up, and it appeared they had been living self-sufficiently with their own vegetable garden and animals. The 58-year-old man was arrested and later questioned further by police, but he never gave them his identity. As for the siblings, they were all brought to a safer place. The community...
I hope they drop that man in prison. I hope they drop him under the prison because You are not going to tell me you did that and they will say he pled insane, or what they used to say in that people's country, you Americans, insanity plea or what, and then they will keep him in a psych ward. No, he committed a crime, a hideous, he committed a crime. Against this restricted every human right possible for these kids, for these 6 of them. And you're going to tell me the insanity plea, brother, lock him in the prison. He can be insane in the prison.
And he was left in nothing but shock after the whole discovery.
Nah, man, that's foul. I'm not even gonna lie. That's